you buy what Mr. Obama had to say on the deficit?
I think it's questionable. I mean, basically, the US has a pretty awful record on trying to keep the deficit down. If you're going to start improving your infrastructure in the manner he's talking about, I think you're going to have to start cutting elsewhere, particularly, of course, the fact that over the course of the next 5-6 years, we're going to start seeing a huge wave of entitlement spending starting to kick in as well. So I think he's got a big job on his hands there.
How worried, though, is the market now about this next stage in this whole process? Clearly, fiscal cliff was an issue, then we've moved on. We're at the second part of this worry now. Has that been pushed aside, or is it lurking?
We pushed it down the road rather than pushed it aside. I mean, basically, by the time we get to May, I think that's the point at which markets will start to worry about it again, unless, of course, the US has found a solution to that problem, which I think most of us think is unlikely.
G7 confusion on the yen statement yesterday. I mean, that was quite remarkable. Is Japan under fire?
Well, yeah, I think it is.
We still don't know.
But I'm not entirely sure. No, I think it is, because basically, you know, the Japanese have basically said we want a weaker yen. Everybody would love a weaker currency, but of course it's a zero-sum game. If you weaken the yen, somebody else has to suffer the consequences of a stronger exchange rate. And I think, given the magnitude of the weakening of the yen that they're talking about, then certainly that's going to be a cause for concern.
Bad communication like that is unusual at this level, but we've seen it before. That sort of market reaction talks to how jittery things are, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically the currency world is very much in flux at the moment. I mean, as you said, it's partly about Japan, but other currencies too are under pressure. I mean, we've seen some weakening of the Swiss franc recently. Concerns over the state of US fiscal policy have led to a weakening of the dollar, and of course the UK is no longer a safe haven. So the world's in turmoil with regard to currencies, and it doesn't really take an awful lot in terms of maybe a false word here or there to spark some more volatility.